nowhere. There is no 5G network here, only 4G. So if you can hear me, then please give me back. It says YouTube isn't responding. So Hermes Gasparini versus Levan Saginashvili, that's the topic. And I always wonder, maybe I'm just too big of a Hermes fanboy, that's why I keep on thinking about it. Because what tells us from everything that we have seen so far that Levan is going to destroy Hermes? That's what people have essentially been claiming lately. That Levan has him figured out now and he's going to beat him like worse than he has ever beaten anyone, and even compared to their last match, which he technically was winning 4-0 until he conceded a couple of rounds because he couldn't continue. So can you guys hear me? I just need a little bit of feedback. I bought this mobile stand and I didn't like, why did they design these clamps that way that it's on the volume buttons or the power button? It's constantly pressing a chance this time. So yes, that's my question. Vitaly has not even practiced with Levan in like 6 years, so I'm not sure if his information is too credible in this. Like, I've also not done that, but I'm quite sure I've analyzed all of the matches and Levan Saginashvili's training footages more than Vitaly, I would say. I don't think he pays that much attention to what's going on in the arm wrestling community. Yes, we can hear you. Where are you going? To Jodhpur. That's where I'm going. Only 12 people have joined. This is a different time to start the live. I usually don't go live around this time. Cut. It's because of these network issues. It keeps on telling me to reconnect to the live streams. For JHOD. It's 2:36 a.m. for me. Yeah, I also usually sleep. So everything that we have seen so far tells us that Hermes should have even better of a chance to defeat Levan than the first time, because the last time, right until the match started, he basically had no chance, even in his own mind. So now he has a chance. He even told Engin and everyone multiple times that when he went into the first match, he wasn't even thinking about winning. He was thinking that maybe if he can stop the match for a second or two, then he's the happiest man in the world. But no, that's not what he's going for this time. He's going for the win. He's going for the kill. The first one to defeat Levan in a super match. That's who he wants to be. So the question is, I hope the video isn't shaking too much. What makes you believe, as someone mentioned, that do you think Vitaly is overhyped? Vitaly was overhyped when he was ranked number 2 in the world 2018 because he stopped Levan for 5 seconds in the first round. I mean, this is essentially what Devon also did in the second Levan match. After that, he got beat even easier than Vitaly Laletin. But still, Devon has some other wins too, like the Hermes Gasparini win. Basically, now since he has defeated Gennady too, we can say that he has beaten almost everyone that there is to beat in that super heavyweight division. But we cannot say the same for the 2018 Vitaly or of Vitaly. Now he's, I will say, if we consider the rankings, I think he's like number 8 or something. So he's that way he's underrated. But otherwise, he's kind of fairly rated. If you think Vitaly is somewhere around, let's say, number 5 in the world, number 4 in the world, number 6 in the world, then I think you are analyzing his level as it should have been. Once again, the stream got froze. So when the stream is working like this, is it okay? Like, should I continue or should I not continue? I'm planning on doing this live stream for maybe at least 1 hour. Is Vitaly have any chance to pin Levan once? I doubt that. I doubt that. Because even if Vitaly is able to take his hand, I think Levan may be able to flop press. The stream is very laggy. I may have to discontinue this then. But let's see. Let's see. The audio keeps cutting out too. If I'm talking about what's happening right now is the audio okay? Because tag team arm wrestling, I was thinking about it. I used to talk about it in the live streams maybe even 4 years ago, if I did any live stream 4 years ago. I like the concept, and rules can be made interesting about tag team arm wrestling. A couple of guys, they cannot tag mid round, but they can tag their opponent strategically once the round is over, and the other guy, they have to immediately get on the table. So if I just wanted to test, as I said, I just wanted to test, as I said, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I was expecting that the network could be like this, but not that bad, not that bad. So tag team arm wrestling, you were saying that sometimes it freezes. Yeah, it shows me retry option, reconnect option. So the thing is, I don't know where the audio got cut, but let's say Michael, Todd, Devon, they are on one team, and on the other team we have Levan and Vitaly. So Devon stops Levan round one, but he loses after like 30 seconds of battle. Then Michael immediately taps on Devon's back and tags himself in. So then either Levan has to decide whether he wants to continue himself or whether he wants to tag Vitaly in. I'm not sure if I gave the best example of the athletes to explain the situation, but tag team arm wrestling can be interesting. It can be made interesting. It can be very strategic. And Michael was saying at one point of time that him and Devon on one side, I think that's what he was saying, they can beat any other two guys in the world. A little bit doubtful, but it can be interesting. It can be interesting because their endurance is good. And if both guys get an opportunity to compete against someone else first time, then it may be a problem. It may be a problem. But if everyone just keeps on tagging their partner every single time, then it may not be as interesting. Levan will win. Also, new rules could be in place too. Yes, rules need to change any times. Michael will get flash pinned 20 times before he stops Levan. That's probably fair. That's probably fair. Are you married? Yes, Gaurav. Bro, Levan and Hermes would beat Devon and Michael. Kryptonites to them. So Levan and Hermes would beat Devon and Michael. Obviously, Levan has to go against Devon first, or Levan has to go first, regardless, because if they put Hermes and then they put Devon on the other side, Devon may do some damage to Hermes round one, and after that, Michael may be able to take Hermes down. So yeah, definitely an interesting strategy. I would like to see tag team arm wrestling, but the budget has to be high. Angin Terzi won't be doing that. It can be a risky move, and maybe it can get exciting with some non-arm wrestlers too, but you have to know their level. Like, you have to understand why a certain move was made to be able to. The commentators need to do a great job with that. Dennis Siplinkov 2018 version versus Devon Lara 2025 right-hand match. If you ask Devon, he's going to say Devon for sure. And if you ask me, I think I'm also going to say Devon for sure. Not in an easy match, but he may get pinned too, just with Dennis's side pressure. But other than that, it's not that easy, man. It's not that easy to beat Devon. Like, who is beating Devon without a flop press? Even Levan couldn't do that the second time. He needed to do that the first time. Dennis Ipinkov's press Not impressed. I've seen him do that. I've seen him do a good shoulder roll multiple times, but still not impressed. What's that circular thing? Is it a shadow on me, or am I seeing this in the screen? Or the wheel? Maybe no. Yeah, it's a wheel. Steering wheel. I would say Dennis. Yeah, you have the right to say that. Dennis Ziplankov had a pretty strong right arm, no doubt about that. Driving first, go home. I'm going at 65 kilometers per hour, and it's like almost an empty highway. No traffic at all, you can see. So, not a big problem. But I still want to watch regardless and listen regardless of the quality. Thank you, sir. The audio. Vitali, I disagree with the 4-1 Levan predictions. If Hermes gets a pin rest of the rounds, I would disagree with you, brother. There is a possibility that Hermes gets a pin and he still loses, because go back to all of the Levan matches. In the Hermes match, whenever Levan didn't have the buckle, he easily flash pinned Hermes, even after getting stopped. He got stopped in third round a couple of times, and then in the fourth round he still flash pinned him, like no problem at all. So that's why I think buckle matters a lot to Levan. When did Levan get stopped by Devon? When he had the buckle on his hand. What happened the next round, despite the first one being a 30-second battle, 20-second battle, whatever it was? Devon got flash pinned. So there is a possibility that Levan can still flash pin Hermes. If Hermes wants to win that match, I think he needs to win the toss. That's going to be pretty important, because Levan seems unstoppable anyways, but he doesn't have the buckle on his hand. It doesn't seem like anyone is going to stop him. Dennis King's move. That's interesting. Devon has a very good strategy against King's move. Would you like to arm wrestle Arm Historian for fun? I think he's a big guy. I'm not sure. Maybe I heard him say in one of his live streams. I don't know if he arm wrestles or not. If he doesn't arm wrestle, yeah, then maybe yeah. But if he does, he would beat me. Levan can defeat, but it should be more difficult than any time. Yeah, I do agree. I would also say that Levan is the favorite. Man, the bus is also overtaking me. Need to speed up, man. Need to speed up. Book your ticket at RSTC online. Hey Pradeep, arm wrestle me. Where are you? Anyone in Jodhpur, show up. I'm coming to take you down. Should increase the brightness of the thing, maybe. Yeah, so that it becomes easier to read comments. Do you think I could be Levan? No, you could be whoever you are. Like, how can you be Levan? Pradeep on the path to Levan. That's who I'm going to take down next. So I've already discussed this part in the video which I uploaded, and another video which should be uploaded soon. My brother is editing it. And the thing is, we've seen multiple things from Ermes which tells us that he's the strongest that he has ever been. Yes, he had some shoulder issues, but then he took some time off, and maybe not too much, but maybe he could be like a couple of percentages stronger than what he was when he faced Vitaly Lalitin or even Michael Todd. But we cannot say the same for Levan. When was the last time we saw him lift heavier than before? 2000. Go back and watch Levan's wrist curls, single arm bicep curls, seated bicep curls, standing bicep curls, preacher curls, both arms, preacher curls, single arms, preacher curls in hammer position, hammer curl position, preacher curls in any position. Name one lift where Levan is lifting more weight than 2022. One lift. I don't think we can find any. And Hermes, on the other hand, is doing 20 reps with his previous pronation, not pronation, but riser lift PR. 20 reps with his PR. And the most back famous is the best back pressure lift, where he was already almost maxed out at that time, around 90 kilos. He has improved that thing as well by maybe 3-4 percentage. So he is getting strong in the gym, maybe on the table as well. We cannot say the same for Levan. And when the gap between them was bigger, he was still able to stop Levan. Why couldn't he do the same? Well, you can say, I don't think Levan can try something like he did against Hermes Gasparini by just cupping and going sideways. Something in between a hook and a top roll. Don't think he can do that. So what else is the option? To do exactly what he was doing before. So I am able to overtake this bus once again. Let's see for how long. Your opinion on a possible Hermes and Devon match if happens tomorrow? I think Devon Laird wins. I think so. Gasparini's hand and wrist will be gone. Like, I have no doubt about that. But maybe like he has strengthened it enough to allow him to get into a flop press position before he's completely out of his shoulder like he was the last time. But still, I'm a little bit confused about that. Like, why was he not able to do anything with a flop against Devon? That thing surprised me. When Devon flopped his wrist round 2 in the straps, I was like, okay, we have seen this position before. He was able to stop Levan here. He's going to do something for sure. He's going to do something for sure. But then he didn't. Devon was like so comfortable in that position. And Devon is someone who has a problem against a flop press. So I think Hermes was totally taken out of his game by Devon's mind games in that match. Like, if anyone else with similar level of strength was facing Hermes, he would have done something, but he got like panicked against Devon. That's what I think. Dennis in 2018 and Levan lifted very similar weight. I think 2013-14 was a little bit stronger in some areas possible. Did Levan's elbow keep coming off the pad with Hermes? I think he was doing that intentionally to get a restart, and he got a restart. When he couldn't get a restart, he stopped pulling. And at that time, I realized like we were being like too harsh. By we, I mean me. Too harsh on Levan when I was saying, man, it's like a cowardly move to not come back to the table. Why? Like, we have seen before, we saw, even before that, we saw Gabby quit against Sarah. I didn't say the same about her. So that was a little bit of a hypocrite move on my part to say stuff about Levan that I have not said stuff about. That's the stuff that I have not said about others. That thing still bothers me a little bit. Maybe not that I said it about Levan, maybe because I was not the same like across the situations. I behaved differently in similar situations. That's the reason it bothers me. Exactly, couldn't there be rules against that? I think there should be rules against that. I've been talking about the leagues needing a professional foul for don't know how long, but they don't have it. And Neil Pickup, out of them all, the last person that I would expect, he implemented that rule. I don't like it that he didn't give me any credit for that, because I was the one calling them out for that. Man, that bus is coming back again. Slow down, dude. You're scaring me. Never been in a situation where a bus is overtaking. When I'm on my motorcycle, you would say I'm lying or I'm just making stuff up. But riding my motorcycle slow makes me scared. It makes me scared because I'm not used to people overtaking me. So when I'm going slow and somebody overtakes me from behind, and I'm like, what was that? So I usually ride in the city and speed is like 60, 70 kilometers per hour. Not too much, but nobody overtakes you at that speed in that area. But when I'm going like 30, 40, somebody overtakes me, I get panicked. I'm not used to of that. But the car I drive pretty slow, like on highways maybe 85, 90 kilometers per hour max. So what's that, like 60, 58 miles per hour, something like that? 57 maybe. Are you related to the arm wrestler girl Bowen's trainer? No, 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 I'm not. Yeah, yes, I saw somewhere she mentioned that I'm his cousin, but no, I'm not. Do you think Levan's wrist is the same? Now it has been like, it will be like what, almost 2 years when he faces Hermes since the wrist injury. So it must be okay. Like if it isn't 100% now, then maybe it never will be. 80 kilometer per hour. You sleep, my friend. You don't. You sleep, my friend. You don't. So are you saying is it too slow? Now I'm going at 68 kilometers per hour because I'm live streaming. Otherwise, it would be 80 again. Plus, I'm getting a good mileage, so why not? Why not? Do you think Hermes can beat Kurdecha? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. I'm going to reveal one thing here which I have not talked about it. It was like private chat. I don't want to reveal it. But when there is like no animosity or nothing too serious against someone, when it's old business, because I interviewed Kurdecha over a couple of years ago, and then I sent him the clip where Kurdecha was saying that yeah, maybe he thinks that he can still beat Hermes, and I sent that clip to him, and Hermes called me, he video called me. I was like, whoa. And he was like, I practiced with Kurdecha and Hermes was like, I can flop my wrist, start the match 1 inch above the pin pad, and still beat Alex Kurdecha. Tell me if you believe this or not. That's, I think, if my memory is serving me correct, because it was more than 2 years ago. Hermes said that he can start the match in a flop wrist, very close to the pin pad, and he can still beat Kurdecha now. That was 2 years ago. Tell me if you agree with it or not. You are very rich. I hope I was. Who wouldn't like to be rich? Hermes, bro, I wanted to see you arm wrestle, but I couldn't unless I give you money. Come on, were you getting smashed that hard? When did I ask anyone for any money, bro? When have I asked anyone for money on this channel to say that I want money to arm wrestle or to do anything else? 80 is about 50. Yeah, 90 when I was saying 57. I was talking about 90 kilometers per hour, not 80. I drive 80 miles per hour. No, 80 per hour is not the not that I follow the limit anyways. I've been caught by police for overspeeding a few times because the speed limit here is ridiculous. It's like less than 50 miles per hour, I think. It's impossible. Not for me, but for many people, it's impossible to drive that slow. I have 228 kilometers more to go. I think I may have smashed a bird, or maybe not. On a side note, pigeons are the dumbest birds in the world. That's what I've felt. Bro, I wanted to see you arm wrestle. I think I read this comment. So if I bus driver wants to arm wrestle, कौन सी कार है? I-20 Sports. Do you think Levan's wrist is the same weaker before the injury? We have discussed that. Bus drive fast in India. Yeah, bus drivers are like, on average, I would say maybe they drive faster than the cars. They're not slow. They're not going below 80 or 90 kilometers per hour. So they go almost 60 miles per hour. You want to see Levan lose is why you said that about Levan. Yeah, that's probably true. That's an honest comment, truthful comment, I would say. I think running fouls would be good for both the athletes. Running foul is the most messed up rule in the world in any sport that I've ever followed. Running foul either needs to be completely abolished or it needs a major overhaul. That's what it needs. Good morning, Pradeep. Good morning. I'm sorry I cannot read the names today. And even the fonts are like that way. It's brighter on the comments, white colored, and the names are like grayish. For me, it's getting difficult to read. I should have increased the font. Didn't know what I was doing. Font size I should have increased before starting this live. I'll do it. Maybe I'll start another live after this one ends, and that will be a better one. First time I'm seeing that kind of mileage on my car just because I'm driving that slow. 25.6 kilometers per hour since I started this live stream. Devon is the best flopper in the world. I did say that that was the best flop press that I have ever seen. And I saw people discussing that, not exactly that I said it, but I saw somebody post that clip on Reddit too. And he was saying that that's a pretty damn impressive press. And Devon did it a couple of rounds from a defensive position, lost his wrist. Remember WL pads that extend right up to the back edge, like the edge of the pad. The pads are 9 inches long, and maybe the pin pads are also half an inch lower. And Michael Todd was allowed to go. I don't think there is anyone in this world who can do that. Jerry was able to flop press Michael on WL pads, but he was always on the offensive. Devon did it from here, from a losing position. Impressive. Don't think we have ever seen anything close to that. It was like almost the way Irakli flop pressed Todd Hutchings. Devon did the same thing to Michael Todd. And flop pressing Todd Hutchings and flop pressing Michael Todd is not the same. I know both are Todds, but it's not the same. Good morning, Pradeep. Okay, I need to. What is your height? 179 exact height. Yeah, that's what I'm not my soul doesn't allow me. Even though when I wake up, many of you must know that when you wake up, you are taller in the morning because there is no gravity acting upon your spine for the entire day to decompress it. So when you wake up in the morning, you're usually about 1 at least, I would say, and 2 at most, 1 to 2 centimeters taller in the morning than what you are compared to the night. Depends on for how long you were standing or sitting. That affects the height. But when I wake up, I'm always 5'11", always. Like very rarely would I see that I'm not 5'11" when I wake up. And I'm never 5'11" when I go to bed, never. So I'm like 5'10" 5'10" and a half when I go to bed. But still my soul, my heart doesn't allow me to say I'm 5'11". I'm not so humble that I'm going to say I'm 5'10" because I'm taller than that. So I choose to say in centimeters. I don't like centimeters, but that's why I always say 179 whenever someone asks me how tall I am. I hope it makes it clear. Do you think Vitaly is the strongest Soviet arm wrestler ever? Dennis Pushkar. Yeah, right arm Vitaly versus Dennis. I think Vitaly would have pinned prime Dennis for sure. I think maybe both arms. But beating him in a super match would have been difficult, man. Right arm, I would say, as crazy as it may sound, Vitaly had more chances to beat Dennis left-handed than right-handed. Because left-handed, I'm not sure if Dennis had a King's move. He didn't need it. That's why we didn't see him doing a King's move. But I'm going to assume he didn't have a King's move on the left arm. And without that, he can lose to Dennis. I think so. So it would have been a good match. He can be. I'm not sure. Left arm, I would say the chances are greater. Denis Iplenkov had, my assumption is he had pretty similar level of both arms, right and left. But since the competition on the left wasn't as great, it has never been and it probably will never be as great. That's the reason why his right did so well. A toll booth. I don't have any fast tag. Pradeep filming himself drive all the way to Pakistan. I think Devon's flop press was only because of his endurance, not strength. But when does Michael get tired in this King's move, man? When he has hand control. When he doesn't have hand control, I caught up with the bus again at the toll booth. Now what's up, bro? Please stop messing with me? I'm going in the same toll plaza as the bus guy. Yeah, he started moving. There is no one here who can listen to me that I don't want to pay toll tax. I need someone, bro. Come on. And it worked. Devon versus Levan left arm. I think Levan Saginashvili wins that match. But Levan himself says that he's kind of done after the first round. So maybe Devon beats him. But he won't accept the match unless he's like fully trained. That's why I would go with Levan still. Despite Levan himself saying he cannot beat tough guys on the left arm more than one round. First round he said he can beat about anyone. Why isn't arm wrestling popular in India? I think it is. I say Dennis versus Levan. Good point. Michael doesn't get tired. Bone lock probably. Yes. Michael, I've seen Michael kind of get gassed out almost. When he's turned palm over, he doesn't have pronation. But when he's taken someone's wrist, doesn't matter where he is, he doesn't get tired. He didn't get tired against Jerry, and Jerry has one of the best endurances in the world. Why are they moving so much? Arm wrestling is most popular in India because of population of India and has good entertaining performances. Yes. Todzilla 200 kg versus Levan. If his strength increases proportionately, then I think Todzilla at 150 kg would beat Levan. He doesn't need to be 200 kg. Drive safe. Yes, I'm driving pretty safe. Very slow. You see the bus overtaking me all the time. I oddly wanted Levan to beat Hermes in the first match. I usually want to see the favorite guy win. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but unless the guy who's an underdog is already my favorite arm wrestler, one of my favorite arm wrestlers that I want to see, I'm mostly always rooting for the champion, the defending champion. I like to hear and still the champion, like they say in UFC. So Bob Anderson, I also want to see the champ win many times, but just it wasn't in the case. Like against Devon, I was rooting for Levan. But I just like to see Hermes win way too much. That's why I was rooting for him. Now I want Hermes to win. So okay, you've changed your mind now. Love your honesty about wanting Levan to lose. I want to see it. So you have the best channel on the internet. I want to say, okay, thank you, sir. "44 people watching, 24 thumbs up, man. Need more. We need more. For sure, we need more than that. Can Hermes get injured in the Levan match? Yeah, I was thinking that he got damaged. His shoulder got damaged against Vitali. If it had to happen, it should have happened against Levan because he was in a very bad position in that match, man. He was just pushing sideways with his whole body. So then there's one push when you're trying to open up your arm for a press, and there's one push where he was just pushing this entire chain. He was doing that. Any news on Zaur? I saw him upload a small training footage a month or so ago. Other than that, I've not seen anything from Zaur. I like that guy. He was good. I interviewed him too once. Zaur needs to be back. Zaur Fezulayev needs to be back. Vitali versus Alijan left arm. I think Vitali is unhookable. Vitali will beat Alijan Muratov. Bhai, what do you think about Devon? I'm not sure about Morozov though. Morozov may lose to Alijan. Let's say MMT wins with Vitali and Devon lose to Vitali. Make your top 5 ranking. So Levan, but Devon loses to Vitali. That's interesting. That's interesting. Then who is second? Does Hermes become second then? Depends. I would like to see how good Hermes did against Levan. If he still took some rounds. I know a loss is a loss, but if you take some rounds away from the champion, then I think your ranking should go up. So if he takes like a couple of rounds again from Levan, then I would say maybe Hermes is number 2. And then MMT beats Vitali and Vitali beats. So maybe Michael gets 3rd and Vitali 4, Devon 5. I know it's crazy to lose 3 rankings because of 1 loss, but you're losing to a guy who's ranked 8th in the world. So why not? That would be my ranking. Levan, Hermes, if Hermes wins a couple of rounds against Levan. Traffic area, let me slow down a little bit more. If Alijan hook Vitali, yeah, if Alijan hooks Vitali, it's over. It's not going to be close then. Chala le bhai, Scorpion. If you want to meet the most number of idiots in the world, you need to go on the road. You won't be disappointed if that's what you want to see. Whenever I get on the road, I immediately get reminded of a quote from the great philosopher, I would like to call him, not a comedian, from the great philosopher George Carlin. Imagine how stupid an average person is. Imagine that in your mind. Just an average person that you've seen. Imagine how stupid he is. And now since he's an average person, more than 50% people of the world are stupider than that. What does that tell you about people? I couldn't agree more. That's a pretty fair. And if you think people on the road are stupid in your country, you need to come to India. You leave the country just because of the way people drive. If you had to drive yourself. Nice forehead, bro. That's the comment of the day. Thank you, Miguel. Who's your favorite philosopher? I don't know any philosophers, but to me George Carlin was a philosopher. I really like that guy. Jerry versus Camille, who actually wins? Camille is like faster than Jerry, man. Faster. I don't know. I'm English, we created your roads, so I think we are to blame a bit. And it's not about roads, it's about people who drive on the roads. Camille is faster than your car too. Everyone is faster than my car. But I'm liking the fuel economy, man. I'm liking it. 24 point down to 24.5 now. But I never get over 20. I think Camille will win against Jerry. He's too fast. That's a possibility. I wouldn't be betting against anyone in that match. Hello Pradeep. Hello Dizzo. George Carlin was great. I want to see Camille crush Devon on left hand at East versus West. Would be great. It seems Devon is avoiding him at cost. Yeah, Devon keeps on saying that he will beat Kamil in the rematch. I have not seen anything from Devon that tells me that it can happen. Not yet. कहाँ चले सुबह 7:40 तो love from Canada. I'm going to Jodhpur. I won't tell you the reason why, but I had a free train ticket in the AC compartment, but I'm choosing to go in my car so that I can talk with you guys. Why not? But John say Alijan can hook Vitali. Nah, John was saying that he in his prime could have hooked Levan again actually. So don't believe John when he says something about someone hooking someone. I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. Devon was like, man, I don't know what John thinks when he says that he would try to hook Levan, grab him low and hook him if he can. It's so much easier to see these speed breakers at 70 kilometers per hour than it is at 85. Bacho is tough opponent for Mask. Yeah, if Bacho is beating Brad Grundy like that, Brad Grundy that was barely able to make weight. I think somebody was saying that he didn't even make weight. He was kind of struggling towards weight cut. Maybe he was still a couple of kilos more than then Bacho said, it's okay, brother, you don't need to cut anymore. So Brad was like 115 kilos maybe when he faced Bacho, and Bacho was less than 100 maybe. And the way he destroyed him, and Todd Hutchings says that in practice pulls he couldn't do anything against Brad. Bacho is a problem in the 95 kg category. He was around 100 kilos, I think, in the Reno match too. So once that guy becomes like 24, 25, I don't see him getting beat by anyone. Who is going to beat that guy? That's assuming that he still keeps on getting maybe a couple of percentage stronger every year. So let's say 5 years from now he's like 11% stronger than what he's now. Is a problem. Bacho and Petrenko both crush Matt. If I interview Todd Hutchings, I would like to ask him this question. I probably already know his answer, but then Todd trains in a very specific way, like a scientific way, I would like to call it. And then he says that he's improving. Out of his 8 lifts, he's improving in 5 of them, and that too with like 2 to 5%. And in 3 out of the 8 remaining lifts, his max weights are going down. And on the other hand, when we talk about other guys, before every match they're like, I'm 20% stronger, I'm 30% stronger, I'm 15% stronger. So I would like to ask him, bro, what's up? Are you not training the right way, or are those guys lying about how much they are improving? Because something is off here. Not where I am at. I'm not sure what you're referring to here, brother. Florida is a hellhole. I love where I live, okay? Why do you say that, Tom Bird? Rivas was 40%. Yeah, 40%. Y'all spouting nonsense. I love where y'all save up your year to vacation. Whenever somebody asks me that I want to come to India, where should I was like, don't come to India. I don't go and visit any place in India. Bacho is a tough opponent for Matt. Yes, he is. Levan was saying a couple of years ago that Bacho would beat Matt. At that time, nobody knew who Bacho was. I was editing that clip out for East versus West channel. When I saw that Levan interview, he was saying even my cousin Bachosagin would beat Matt. Then I told Matt that Levan was saying that when I interviewed him. When I interviewed Matt. And he was like, fuck Bachosagin. Are you in Rajasthan, bro? Roads look like that. Yes, yes. I'm in Rajasthan. Far west in Rajasthan. Weather, man, it's bad. It's bad. It has already started crossing 40 degrees Celsius. Can we make a betting group on arm wrestling? I'm not sure. I don't think I can. But bad. That's the problem, man. 20 degrees Celsius temperature. They love the sun. We don't. We don't. Ask an Indian if he loves the sun or not. We get that. The sun shines here in India 364 out of 365 days. So we don't care about the sun. For us, it's a good day when the sun is not shining. The sun starts shining at 6:30 a.m. and it stays like that till 6:30 p.m. I'm not looking forward to that ever. I hate the sun. Florida sun is always shining. Devon said he was 50% for Hermes match. Bullshit. Bunch of bullshit. Meaning he was 5 kg stronger than Pradeep. Levan at 50% would lose to Mazahir Saidu. I can tell you that. 50%. Like literal 50%. Sahara Desert. What's up? Lass. Jacob Harvey. How did you find arm wrestling? I was arm wrestling way before then I found arm wrestling. Way before I found arm wrestling. Then was an extrovert there. Because on school benches, I was the kid in the school who was always bothering everyone else to arm wrestle. Let's arm wrestle. Let's arm wrestle. And they used to hate me for that because I didn't lose to anyone. So that was me in my school. And elbows never used to hurt back then when I arm wrestled. Maybe because there was no competition in school. That's the reason. But I always arm wrestled in school. Maybe every single day for like, not every single day, but at least once every week with someone if I can somehow convince someone to arm wrestle me. I like to do that as much as I can. So that's how I found arm wrestling. John Brzezinski edit too. I tried to find it afterwards, but I couldn't. Maybe it got deleted. It had over 100,000 views even at that time, more than a decade ago. So I watched some videos, some Travis Bajan videos, then John Brzezinski videos, highlight reels, then Devon lad videos. After that, he was the third one. So that's how I got interested in arm wrestling, because I started watching videos of these three guys. Did you face weaker kids using two hands? I don't think I was that powerful in school. No, not using two hands. But I would arm wrestle them like this, like Hermes Gasparini was saying he can beat Alex Cordecha. I was willing, left-handed, I was willing to arm wrestle anyone with a flopped wrist near the pin pad, because it was always like 10% stronger at least than my right arm. Now I think the gap is slightly more than 10-15%, maybe even 20. Ryan Bowen versus Levan, when not looking good for Levan, I'll tell you that. How do you learn English so good? English, I would give most of the credit to, like, almost equally, WWE and WWF it was at that time, and video games at the same time, and on this other hand we have school. So 50-50. 50 goes to WWE and video games and 50% goes to school. But I learned to speak in English, to speak English and to converse in English because of YouTube, because I had no other option. I wanted to go live because before that first live stream that I did on my channel, I never spoke with anyone in English. I did a practice session with one of my friends. Bro, let's have a Zoom call. Let's try to talk in English for a moment. And it was a little bit awkward because it, I think it was in 2021. Until that time, I had never spoken or conversed in English with anyone. Never. That was the first time, 2021. I knew English. My vocabulary a decade ago was like 2-3 times of what it is right now. But I can speak now. At that time, I couldn't. Tom Burr hates Americans, according to someone. I heard that they don't use the word according to in USA. As per, they like to call it. In India, we say everything according to me, according to that, according to this. Which car are you driving? i20 Sports Automatic 2024. Ferrari. Any powerful engine, be it a car or a motorcycle, is pretty much useless in India. You cannot use that power anyways. Like, it's impossible. But still, I would like to buy a powerful motorcycle. I already have a 40 horsepower bike, but maybe I like to upgrade to a Z900 or something in after 2-3 years. 3 years at least. After 5 years, who do you think will win a rematch? Bacho and Reno. Reno will be bigger than Bacho, I think. Maybe Reno. Pradeep, what do you think about a right-hand match between Alex and Kamil? Alex Kurdecha, Kamil Jablonski. Yeah. Interesting one, man. Interesting one. I don't think Kamil is that far off Jerry. Maybe Kamil gets in. I don't see Kurdecha certainly developing a lot of inside hook power to beat Kamil. If he does, he can beat him. But the day he faced Jerry and lost to him, I think he would have lost to Kamil as well. That would be my answer. And driving stream, yeah, the first time. I was testing it out. So why not have a live stream? So the purpose of mainly for this live stream is, first one is to have a chat with you guys, and it keeps the algorithm, the live stream algorithm, I felt that is kind of different than the regular algorithm of a channel. So that keeps it in check, and I can get to talk with you guys, and I can get to recover some of this fuel money while doing a live stream. So why not do that? And I'm alone, so feels like this is a much better way. Sun is shining right at my face, so no lighting problems. I think Hermes will take the win. That's why I'm wondering what makes people believe that Levan is going to win easier this time. I'm not saying he shouldn't be the favorite. Levan should always be the favorite against everyone. But everything that's leading up to this match is telling us that the gap between Levan and Hermes may have closed even further since their first match that happened more than 2 years ago. So, Pradeep, I can tell you why Levan would win easier. Yes, please do. Man, it's becoming difficult to read comments even on full brightness because of the sun. Or maybe I have battery saver mode on. No, I don't. It says you are live. So was I not live before? Pradeep upgrading its setup every day, day by day. You look like you're driving in a desert. Doesn't look like India. Yeah, it is India. Far western part of India. i20 Sports is the car. Hyundai. The match between Hermes and Levan should have been on the end of the year. That's what Hermes initially wanted, but then he changed his mind after discussing with his coach, after feeling that he's not injured or something like that after the Michael Todd match. That's when he changed his mind. Hermes have absolutely nothing to Levan, zero. Levan will surely win this time. He will need an oxygen mask, a stretcher, and an ambulance. The match between Hermes and Levan should have been okay. Last time Levan was very sick in hospital right before. Arm wrestlers always like to be on that IV drip thing before every match. If you're judging by that, no, he was on that before the Devon match, not the Levan, not the Hermes match. So up until the match, we didn't hear anything from Levan about him not being in the best shape ever. I'm not sure about this sick comment. I mean, the comment about Levan being sick, not that the comment is sick. Pradeep, you will be scolded by your mom as you are using mobile while driving. That's probably true, cricket lovers. I'm going pretty slow. But I'm reading the comments way too much. That's something that I'll agree with. Maybe she's watching, definitely she's watching this live stream. If Levan and Hermes slip, Levan will fall to the ground and need an ambulance and oxygen. You'll be disappointed if it's not for flash pins. Why though? Like, obviously you may be a bigger Levan Saginashvili fan than an Hermes fan. That's why we would like to see 4 flash pins. But even if you're supporting someone, wouldn't you like to see a close match? Wouldn't you like to see the guy that you're supporting win in a close match so that you get more value for the money that you have paid? Yeah, if it's a free match, then maybe you'd like to see a one-sided win. Or if you're like literally a hardcore supporter of one arm wrestler, then domination satisfies the fans more than close matches. That's something that I would also say. Devon versus left hand. I'll try everything to not let that match happen. And YouTubers do have a lot of power. It wasn't just Denis Siplenkov's health that because of which he cancelled the match with Ermes Gasparini. It was also because of a lot of comments that people were making about this match. I kept on saying every chance that I got that this match shouldn't be happening. Hermes will destroy Denis. And see what happened. That match got cancelled. Devon was talking about a Travis Pageant left arm match, and people kept on fighting against it. We don't need to see Devon versus Travis. That's not a match. And that match didn't happen. So maybe we can do that to the Hermes Gasparini, not Hermes. We can do that to the Wagner Bortolato match too. Why not? Only way Devon and Michael can win a tag team match if Levan is partnered with Derek Smith. Derek has always been mad at me for something. Back then I didn't even used to. Once I saw at that time it wasn't even clear if the video was on Michael's channel or not. So the video was filmed at Michael's garage when, if you remember, Devon showed up as a surprise at Michael's home, and then he pulled with him, and Michael was still able to pin Devon at once. That practice pull. So I used footage from that. It was at least 3 years ago, I would say. And I took the footage from some other channel. The same footage was uploaded on multiple channels. You don't even know from which channel owns this footage. And it was just a casually mobile phone recorded video. I took that video and I did some commentary over it, uploaded it on the channel, didn't even take it from Michael's channel. And Derek Smith got mad at me for that I used a footage not from his channel but from Michael Todd's channel. He was mad at me because of that. So He has always found a reason to be mad at me for something. Then I made a comment that Derek Smith is pound for pound the weakest arm wrestler ever to get a chance at East versus West. Now it may be Mehdi Abdulwand. I think he was like similar weight to Derek, and Derek beat him at East versus West. But still, I would say that Derek is still the pound for pound, the weakest arm wrestler to ever put his elbow on an East versus West table. And that comment made him even more mad. And then before that, when I talked against what Uncle John did, keep in mind I didn't talk anything against Uncle John. I talked against what he did in that. What was the name of Kieran Morrison? Kieran Morrison? What was his name? I even forgot when he did that javelin move. I was just saying that there should be more than a foul for this thing. That's all I wanted to see. And that's exactly what happened. Neil said afterwards, after this stuff, there will be a professional foul, a loss in that round whenever it happens. And that's why I was saying maybe I should have gotten credit for that. That rule change belongs to me. And Neil was saying, "Oh no, we're already thinking about that." No, bro, you were trying to hide. You're trying to not converse about that at all. And when you saw that people gave it a lot of backlash, especially me, at least 50% of that, almost 100% of that came from me. If we talk about just the YouTubers. Why it says 20 km/h? It means there must be a speed breaker. Yeah, there is. I'm good. I'm getting good at this. I'm reading the road signs. I'm reading the chat. I'm driving. I'm skilled at this. Engin and Bowen need to have a match. Yes, I do agree with this. Engin right now is not in the best possible shape. And at this point, in this shape, it can be a match. Engin doesn't need to get too strong. Otherwise, the Ryan Bowen match won't be a match. I would love a of the YouTubers performance enhancing pancakes. You are Mr. Agreed. Bottom 8 YouTubers tournament. I would love to see that too. How do you feel about Bowen dating your cousin? She's not my cousin. And potentially getting married into your family. Who told you that they are potentially getting married? I would like to know the name of that person. If Bowen gets to partially commentate and have a match versus Engin, who's the player? Yeah, Bowen versus Engin is a good match, man. It's a good match. If it happens today, it's a good match too. But a prepared Engin would beat Bowen because he was able to beat Coach Ray too. I think Coach Ray and Bowen are pretty similar when Bowen is as heavy as he can be. But I think he 95 kilos for the Coach Ray match. What happened? At that time he was looking all skinny, his face was looking weird, and now he looks solid at the same weight, 95 kilos. And then he was cutting to 95 kilos. Engin looks like he's getting better now. Engin is someone who does a couple of bicep curls and joins the YouTube stream and says like, yeah, I'm training now. You look at this, do you see any improvement? No, we don't see any improvement. You just did a couple of bicep curls, Engin. Come on. Bowen did a terrible cut to make that match. Yeah, against Ray. Does Irakli beat Pacho? That's a good match. Right now, I would say yes. But maybe not so. I'm not so sure. Pacho's hand is pretty solid, man. Pretty solid. But I would have to go with Irakli, at least for now. Khalid would beat Brian 3-0. It won't be that way for too long. Because Khalid is not training. And even if now, like if he just shows up without practicing, Brian may be able to beat him without the straps. So I wouldn't be too sure. But yeah, in the straps, Khalid, I think he still got Brian Shaw. Looked like Bacho leveled up his Grundy. Yes, he did. Angin and Travis getting in shape by training twice a month. Yeah, Travis and Angin, it's kind of same for both. What the hell is that thing? Looked like Bacho leveled up Grundy against Grundy. Yes, he did. Khalid versus Brian Shaw. I think Angie needs more time to compete. I agree. If Bowen gets partially, Bowen's commentary is great. I did comment under his recent video that I think he's the best commentator. People say Neil Pickup. I don't agree with that. I think Ryan Bowen is a better commentator than Neil Pickup. And it's not that I'm saying it now. I've always said it. Always. Ryan's ability to explain stuff, what's happening on the table, is good. While Neil's commentary, if you take a look at it, his sentences, it's almost the same. No matter what's happening on the table, he always says the same stuff. Always. Sometimes he commentates like, on the way we go. And the pin happened like 5 seconds ago. And he still keeps on saying that. I didn't like that in the Levan second Asheville match. It was a crucial moment. Levan, Flashman, Devon, and Neil had no intentions to commentate about that at all. Like nothing, nada, zero. If he decides he's going to say this, if Neil decides that he's going to say this stuff after the round happens, it literally does not matter what's happening on the table. He will still say that exact same stuff. And that's something that I don't like about his commentary. That it's not exactly about what's happening on the table. Some people like that kind of commentary. If there is any cricket fan here, Navjot Singh Sidhu, Neil Pickup also must know Navjot Sidhu. And that bus is back again, man. That guy won't leave me. We have overtaken each other back and forth like 3 times now. Bus is coming to throw you. Watch out. Yep, that's the guy. And now his display is all working on the backside. Jaisalmer, Bardmer, Jodhpur, Ajmer, Ujjain. So before that, it was that display was showing error 1. Don't know how he figured that out while driving the bus. And a cow came in front of a bus, so he hit the brakes hard. And now I'm going to overtake him again. How about that? 4th time. Thanks, cow. That's what's up. Man, he's already catching up. He's already catching up. I'm not going to go faster than this 70 km/h speed. It's like Fast and Furious between me and the bus. He's overtaking again. Cricket is better and more civilized than baseball. It's bigger than baseball also, much bigger. We saw Pradeep versus Bus Fast and Furious race before GTA 6. Somebody commented that thing, GTA 6 comment about Armwrestling, that we will see GTA, yeah, the movie, the Devil Lad movie. Somebody commented that we will see GTA 6 before the Devil Lad movie. And it's true. I'm not sure if the Armwrestling community is even excited or interested in that. Like, do you care about the Devon Lad movie now, since we have been hearing about that for like 3 years now? Devon shared a story from someone who belongs to the crew who's dealing with this movie, and it's like 3 years, 5 months in the making. And now we've lost interest. But I get it that maybe it wasn't really for the Armwrestling community anyways, because if they're making a documentary movie, they're aiming for Netflix, and we are aiming for Netflix. That's another thing that I don't like to hear again and again. What do you mean you are aiming for Netflix? Have they already said no to you 2 years? That means you must have done some kind of conversation with them until now, right? And did they say no? What does it? I hope we are back again. What does it mean you aiming for Netflix is repeating? Because I'm asking you, what does it mean? If somebody keeps on saying for 2 years that we are aiming for Netflix, does that mean that they have already communicated with Netflix and gotten no as an answer? Or does that mean that they're not yet feeling confident enough to approach Netflix because they don't have a good enough product? What does that mean? Yes, we are back. Connection is back. For how long the connection was gone? My assumption is like for 1 minute. Or more than that. I think the evil bus driver is behind the innocent attack. I can still see him, but he's like maybe a kilometer ahead of me. Yeah, the bus went away, man. I can see him. I'll probably overtake him again. Pradeep versus Dennis will be a perfect match. Dennis is another guy who needs to cut to 115 kilos.
In 600 meters, slight left.
Okay. The person who had defeated the Titan of Armwrestling.
Take the next left.
Pokhran bypass. Let's bypass Pokhran.
In 500 meters, turn right onto National Highway 125.
Forearm is blocking the signal.
Turn right onto National Highway 125.
Don't overtake the bus. We have changed route, man. Goodbye to the bus driver. I won't be seeing him again. I hope I'm going the right way. Yeah, distance is going down. It was 272 or 273. I
continue on National Highway 125 for 11 kilometers.
And it's now 174 and I've been driving for 104. So did I miss a turn or something? I don't think so. How is it 104 plus 174 now? It's 278. It was it 273 or 274, I think. Where did I mess up 4 or 5 extra kilometers? Don't overtake that bus. What are your thoughts on? Let me pass this area, then I'll read the comment. What are your thoughts on Gennady at 115? I can't see. I've never seen. Yeah, you can go back to the old videos and watch Gennady at that weight. But since I've started watching arm wrestling, I've never seen Gennady at that weight. Even the Dave Chaffee versus Gennady match, the first one, Gennady must have been like at least 130, 135 even in that match. Gennady is not a small guy. Guys like Chaffee and Dennis would rather lose almost every match for a weight than be top 5 and 115. Yes, that's what I also think. Maybe Dennis feels like when he gets juiced up, he definitely gets bigger. That's why he doesn't want to cut to 115. And more importantly, he cannot be strong at that weight because for that he'll have to lighten up the dosage a little bit. Maybe that's the reason. But still, man, regardless, like he should have cut to that weight. 115, that's where Dennis belongs in my opinion. Ricard Borman versus Schoolboy. Good match. I would like to see that. Is that a speed breaker? No, it isn't. इंडिया से हो गया हाँ यस Alex Arsenal bro why are you posting the same comment we have discussed that maybe there was a network issue then I don't know Mad Mask shocked me actually where are you going I'm going to Jodhpur for something I would maybe staying there for some days that's also why I'm driving a car instead of going there in a train that will be a public place most likely so I won't be able to record videos there I'd rather do that in my car that's why I brought it with me So once again, your opinions about Levan versus Hermes. Does anyone here believe that Hermes Gasparini is actually going to win this match? In the Engin live stream, Hermes was saying that he was surprised to see some people commenting that he's the favorite against Levan. He's going to win it. So he himself felt surprised after reading that. What are your thoughts about this? Does anyone believe? Nope. First answer is no. Foodie just for food. Good morning, Pradeep. Hi, Foodie. Pratham. Good morning. When will PPL2 happen? PPL2 will happen in August. You be there. I hope I'm there. I hope they invite me for commentary. I believe in Hermes' ability to fight. Yes. Believe in the back pressure. If anyone is thinking, including Hermes, that he's going to be able to do something with the hand, he'll out top roll Levan or something, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll still need the press. Move, man, move. So the stream quality is bad and I don't usually go live around this time. I don't usually go live at all. That's why the viewers are also very few in number. It was over. It go back to 57 minutes again. The live stream timing was well over 1 hour. Prime Travis 2017 who flash pinned Dave Chaffee and Jerry. That was 2016 by the way. Could beat everyone including Levan. No. I don't think that Travis is going to beat Devon Larrett. When I had 4G network, the stream was still working better than this, and now the network shows 5G and it's still crashing again and again. Only 10 viewers left now. Very bad number for someone who has over 50,000 subscribers. But man, it is what it is. Back pressure, side pressure, who wins? You need both. Like, how much side pressure does the back pressure guy have? If it's like close, then like whoever has a better combination of both would win. That's what I would say. Todd Hutchings has a lot of back pressure too. He's not just all side pressure. Refresh and you'll see his live again. So stream is back now for me. It should be back for everyone. 16 people watching now. So unless this number goes to like 40 without the stream crashing again, I'm going to end this live stream. So left arm, I think Travis won't beat Devon. I think Prime Travis maybe he can beat Devon on the left arm. Best of five. It's a possibility, but it's still a close match. Right arm, I don't think it's close. Hermes must work on his wrist. That's what he has been doing since the Devon match. Thoughts on professional outside events like Arm Wars Super Series 2011. Arm Wars was awesome, man. Back then we used to watch a lot of Arm Wars matches. Amazing. I liked that Arm Wars better than this one. They were, since they stepped up into this storytelling kind of thing, I don't really like it. I just fast forward and watch the rounds. I've never watched anything else. But back then the videos, I think they were entertaining. They were still using a similar format. They were showing people like what the athletes had to say about the match in between the matches. Maybe no, maybe not, maybe not. They were not showing that back then. But I liked those older arm wars matches more. Jeff Hale, man, like the guy was a character. He was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time. That's what I don't like about that time frame. If Jeff Hale was the Jeff Hale today, like he was that active, similar style, charisma, he would have been very famous, very famous. But back then, people were not ready for Jeff Hale. I think events outside is the most fun. Open arm hook that I don't think Tim Bresnan used a hook. He was like he was trying to pronate, and if he couldn't, then maybe it looked like a hook. But I don't think Tim Bresnan was hooking intentionally. The Hale Razor, yes. The guy was amazing. He was like 10 years ahead of his time. Three versus three. Yes, earlier in this stream we discussed this exact same topic. I think this needs to be done. But the bigger leagues, they won't implement this unless some smaller local event, local league type of thing. What was the name of that event that they used to have super matches 4 years ago? They had Artyom Morozov, Georgy Zaranov, Arif Artem, these matches. I think Daniel Ustinov may also, maybe not. What was the name? I forgot. Where we saw Morozov's first super match against Georgy Zaranov, where he destroyed Zaranov and destroyed Arif Artem. Nah, man, not top 8. Top 8 is not a local tournament. What are you talking about, bro? Just somebody can type Zaranov versus Morozov. That match will show up and tell me what's the name of that organization. Like that level of event organizers, if they come up with something, a good idea of a tag team super match thing, then I think more and more people, then the bigger leagues can start thinking about it if it is successful. Sam Burnett loves the King's Hook move, but sadly it looks like he's given up on Armwrestling. Yes. King's Hook doesn't work. I would assume, like, even if you're in a hook, you will need some kind of pronation. Otherwise, if you're open like that, I think you will be out top rolled, even if the other guy is a hooker. King's Hook works for me. Not all pullers are the same. So, how much distance do we have left? We still have 155 more kilometers to go. But I'll probably end this live stream in next 5 minutes. That would be my guess. Since pay-per-view arm wrestling has taken off, I think it's getting even more difficult for people to get recognized. It's crazy. Because now we do get to see the top arm wrestlers compete almost every month or at least every quarter, and because of that we're not that much interested in looking up to new arm wrestlers. When there was no arm wrestling going on, then if I saw let's say a Sam Burnett compete somewhere, I'll get excited about that match. I'll watch it for sure. Okay, show me what happened there. I would like to see it. But now people have so many high level matches to watch. It's for a casual arm wrestling fan, for a fan who does not care about watching everything, it's getting difficult. Another bus found me. These bus drivers won't leave me behind, man. So that's the reason I think maybe if someone is at a level where he cannot get recognized by the top organizations, it may be even more difficult for him to make a name for himself in today's world. Because fans are not that much content hungry now. It's not like they would literally watch anything and everything that there is to watch. This guy is even faster. I'm going at 70. He may be going at like almost 80. Next East versus West event. What was before pay-per-view? Nothing. WL matches were on pay-per-view as well. I think fanseat.com, and there was two platforms where they were selling pay-per-views, but their pay-per-view was like $3. WL pay-per-view was $3, and most of the times the matches were uploaded on the same day, like regardless, on YouTube, or maybe the next day. That's it. So it wasn't really a pay-per-view. I don't think they were trying to sell any pay-per-views that way. So WL was basically for free. If the event is a pay-per-view, but then they're uploading the official footage the same day, I would basically consider it as a free event. Camille and Jerry, flop pressers. What about Gennady? Yeah, Gennady's flop press is good, man. I've not seen it getting stopped. Michael stopped it the second time around, but other than Michael, it's difficult. Devon didn't let Gennady get into a flop press. We don't know what would have happened if he could get into a flop press in the second match. But isn't the ability to get into a flop press? Stop spamming. Levan said he was sick for the first match. Yeah, he said it afterwards, but before that he was saying that he's in the best shape that he has ever been. He kept on saying that again and again. I think so. So now he's not saying that. Now he's not saying he's in the best shape. So even if he was sick back then and he won't be sick this time, still according to himself he was stronger back then. But now he's working more on his finishing part. That's what Irakli was saying. That's what he lacked in the first match. He's working on a press, he's working on side pressure, so that even if he's not as strong in other areas as he was before, he may still be able to win the match. WL was very good production quality and good commentating, but money made rules were no money made. Yeah. Whenever somebody talks about the best arm wrestling production, I would immediately say WL 406. Go watch that full event, WL 406. We are yet to see that level of production quality. WL events were also like, sometimes I didn't like the lighting and stuff, but that 406 thing, man, where Michael Todd versus Devon happened, by far the best production that I've ever seen, even until today. If anyone has not watched it, I highly recommend you to put that thing on your television and just watch it there. The pre-match, the promos, like WWE style promos, not exactly that style, but I really liked that. They went to the athlete's place, they shot a little 1 minute movie with them, and then they played it before the matches. I really liked it. That's where the footage of Devon jumping from that plane that comes from. I saw that in the included in the WL 406 event video first time. So that production quality was on next level. Going to work, no, my work is like 7 kilometers from my home that I've rented. I'm going somewhere else. Prime Vovoda versus Levan and Devon and Prime Dennis, who wins? Prime Vovoda versus Levan. Obviously Levan, man. How did I get confused with the question? And Devon beats Prime Vovoda to Prime Dennis. Prime Dennis versus Prime Vovoda. Dennis wins again. I think Vovoda easily loses all three of these matches. Any super heavyweight from that era, 2005, would lose to today's top super heavyweights. Even John Brzezinski. I have just looked it up. We are 406. Yeah, that's what I said. Devon versus Michael. I personally think the darker Devon versus Dave Michael and Jerry was better. Okay. So you have not watched the full event then? It's not just about that one match or just about the lighting. It's just overall the video quality and everything. Just I liked that whole event, and plus the card was good too. That 406 card was maybe better than any other WL card. Nah, man. Somebody was asking for lift. Or maybe he's asking the bus to stop. The bus guy didn't stop either. He's obviously that's another bus that's chasing me. Had coffee. Yes, when I left home, I had some coffee. I see what you're saying. Devon versus Michael. He's closing the gap, the bus driver. Should I end this live stream? 50 likes and I'll end it. 46 likes we already have, just 4 more likes. And then maybe in my last hour of drive, I'll start another live. Another 1 hour live stream. Dave Chaffee pinned Michael Todd under the table without losing his wrist in 2017. Yeah, he did it once. So Dave has the strongest wrist in arm wrestling. Devon did that multiple times. He never lost his wrist against Michael in 2021. So I wish that East versus West sold individual matches. They could just sell the matches they start and I would buy them, okay? I don't want to watch a full card. Thoughts? Engin would answer this question by saying that you don't have to buy the whole card. But then the question is, if somebody likes the first match too, and then he likes the last couple of matches, then what does he do? So I think selling, though I don't agree with selling the matches individually, I think it is okay the way it is right now. Not losing the wrist. It's, if we think about it, same, the wrist becomes loose. Two more likes, people. 47 it's showing on my screen, so 3 more likes and we end this stream. I'm not getting enough comments too, so I should end it already, I guess. So anyways, thanks for joining this live stream, guys. I It was kind of okay. The network was bad, but that was expected. It maybe still wasn't that bad. People can actually listen to what I was saying for the most part, for 90% of the time, I would say. So I would consider it a success. If the live stream algorithm on the channel was okay, I would have gotten more viewers, I guess. Or maybe if I had a guest, it would have been better. But I don't like that. The guest will think that this guy is just going somewhere. That's why he needs to spend his time on something. Maybe I can ask the viewers to join if somebody is interested in joining this live stream. The guys that wouldn't otherwise be invited for a podcast on an Armwrestling channel. Opposite of tight, yes, opposite of tight. Thanks, guys. 48 likes. You guys are awesome.